What's up, Geeksters? It's me, Omar from GeeksterLabs.com. How's it going today, guys? Well, today's product that I'm going to be showing you is something that was sent to me free for review from JayBird. And today we have the JayBird Rain Fitness Tracker. Now, this is a product that I have been testing out for about 3 months straight. I received this at a press event in October. And so JayBird showed us how this product worked, and they gave us each a sample to take home with us. So I would have done the review sooner, but I really wanted to put this product through its paces and use it on a daily basis, because this is something that has some serious longevity to it, since it's something you'll be wearing on a daily basis and using it all the time. So I really wanted to use this product every day for a long time to get a full feel of how it works and how it responds to different things, whether it's working out or just going to work every single day to your regular daily job. So I feel like I've had enough time to really play with it and use it. So now I want to give you guys my full thoughts on this product. So before we get into the full review, let's go ahead and discuss what's included with the Rain Fitness Tracker. Alright guys, so here are the contents of the box itself, and I forgot to mention earlier, this product does retail for $200 and it is available in black and white. So obviously, as you can tell, I do have the black version right here. So the actual little pod is included on the display unit that's right here. So when you open up the box, the first thing you see is this one right here, and so this is the smaller band. And so this is the kit I have here is the large to extra large. So what that is, it comes with a number 3 band, which is the one that's included right there. It has a number 4, number 5 band, so they just get slightly larger. And these are the premium bands. So let's go ahead and take a look at those real fast first, okay? So the premium bands are the nicer quality, more fashionable looking ones. It's stainless steel, it's sandblasted, so it looks a little bit nice, a little bit sharper. So something that you can kind of, even if you're dressed up and while you're wearing this, it does look kind of a little more high quality. It is really nice quality silicone, really soft, and it's the same silicone that they do include also on the sport band as well. But as you can see, this does have the nice little magnetic clasps. I will mention though that while using this, I kind of myself personally prefer the sport bands, as you can see right here, because it's just one solid silicone band. Because if you do have lots of hair in your wrist, like I have a lot of hair on my wrist right here, they sometimes will get stuck in there. And one thing to consider too as well is whenever you are using the premium bands, make sure it has to be snug. The point of the band is so it doesn't rotate on your wrist. You want to make sure that the sensor always stays on top, because if it goes to flipping around on your wrist, it may confuse your movements. So you want to have a band that's pretty snug but not overly snug, because I did notice that if you do wear a band, or if you do choose a smaller size of the premium band and you bump into your leg or something, it tends to pop off a little bit easier, as opposed to something that's a little bit more loose but still prevents it from rolling around your wrist, okay? So these are the premium bands. And you can see right here, this is the pod right there, and this is the actual brains of the whole device itself. And we'll go a little bit more detail about that in a second, but basically I just want to show you how small the pod is itself, and it is magnetic. So all of these bands that it comes with have steel right there on the inside, as you can see, and it just pops right into place. And it does not move. I haven't had any issues at all with this pod accidentally falling out or anything. It always stays in place as long as the band that you're using is relatively snug on your wrist, okay? So those are the premium bands. Like I mentioned, the sport bands as well. We have 2 sizes of sport bands, and these are really good for, especially if you're gonna be really active, getting real sweaty. Because after all, you can use these premium bands if you are gonna be getting sweaty and getting really active with it. But they do include these sport bands because it's maybe a little bit more secure, so they won't accidentally pop off when you're doing a lot of crazy movements, depending on what kind of sport you're playing. This is also really good for swimming as well too, because the sensor in the pod can tell when you are swimming and when you are doing other activities. So they recommend that you use these, especially when you are swimming. And so if you are going to use the premium bands while you're getting sweaty and things like that, they do include a clip cleaner right here. So if it gets a little gunked up with some dirt and things like that, as you can see, there's a square spot right there, so you can clean it out and make sure it doesn't get too dirty and things like that. So they do include a little cleaner right here. So pop that right there, okay? As you can see, this is the actual charging pod right here, the little piece that snaps onto the inside of the pod. So when you snap it to the bottom right there, it has a little micro USB on the backside right there. We take the included USB cable that the JayBird supplies with it, a real nice flat wire USB cable branded with JayBird and everything. Plug it into your vehicle USB charger or the one you use for your phone or whatever, and you're good to go. So this little pod will actually run for 5 days straight, and I can attest to that. I've been using it for 3 months. I haven't had any issues with it. I only have to charge it about once a week, and sometimes it'll go even a little bit longer than that if I'm not being too active with it and making the sensor go off too much. It might be able to stretch it to 6 days, but 5 days for sure. One tip I made to give you guys though, when it comes to charging, I would recommend charging it in your vehicle, Because when you're in your car, you're not really doing anything active. You're sitting and you're driving. As opposed to maybe most of the time you may think, oh, I want to charge it at night while I'm sleeping. Well, it's also a sleep tracker. So you want it to be able to track your sleep. You can't track your sleep if you're charging it up. So I usually charge up when I'm in my vehicle. I'm stuck in traffic for a good hour every single day, so I just charge it up on a Friday on my way home, and usually I'm good to go. Here's the other band that is included with this, and this is the cycling band. So whenever you are riding on a bike, you can flip it on the inside right here. You squeeze the little pod right inside here that faces your ankle or towards your ankle. You wrap it up, and this is how it can tell when you are cycling. So I have used this, and I'll give you guys a demonstration of what it looks like on the app itself. So when you strap this to your ankle and you're out riding, it can tell that you actually are riding a bike, which is pretty cool. So, but you have to keep the pod on your ankle for it to be able to recognize that movement as cycling. Okay, so this is the band for that. So this is the cycling band right there, and it's like a nice neoprene. It's breathable. You know, it's obviously something you could throw in the wash if it gets real sweaty and gunked up. It hasn't really been beat up too much with me. So you can tell it's pretty durable little band right there. And here's a larger band. So if you need an extra large band, this is a 6 band and number 6. And this is the one I was actually using because my wrist is a little bit larger. You actually you can request for the larger band on JayBird's website. If you go to JayBirdsport.com, you can request the larger one and they'll send this one out to you. But it does include the 3, the 4, and the 5 band right here. Okay. So that's all the contents of the box itself. Let's talk about a little more detail about the little pod. Okay, so here's a close-up of the pod itself as you can inside the wristband right here. I'm using one of the premium bands. So it's very small, it's very lightweight. And so as you can see, it does have the sensor right there for taking your heart rate. It does not have continuous heart rate while you're working out. It only uses heart rate when it does the Go Zone feature, and I'll describe that in more detail when I go over the app. But it does have the sensor right there for that. So this little tiny sensor is what basically can detect all the different types of sports that you are doing, whether it's running, whether it's walking, whether it's general activity or any kind of general sport activity, whether it's cycling, whether it's swimming. It can actually detect all those different things. So like I mentioned before, it does use a magnet to just line up on the bottom right here and snap into place. And when it is in there, it does not fall out accidentally. Like I mentioned earlier, I have not had any issues at all with this thing, even remotely feeling like it's about to fall out. It stays in there nice and tight, and does a really good job of staying secure. So here's the thing right here. Whenever you are working out, obviously you're trying to reach a goal, a daily goal. And I'll go over more in detail about what that goal is and what the numbers actually mean. But when you tap on the wristband right here, it actually shows you how much you've done so far. And then after that, it shows you the clock. So this clock is not easy to understand at all. It's almost like one of those Tokyo flash clocks, if you will, with like the weird LED lights and stuff. So basically the way the clock is, there's 12 LEDs in here, meaning the 12 hours of the day. So you'll know exactly what time it is by counting how many LEDs go up. So the first time it blinks, it'll be solid red color, and then it'll be a blinking light. Let's show you one more time. So it shows me how to use half of my thing, and so right now it's about 5. It's almost 6 o'clock, so it's about 5:55. So that clock is not easy to read. It takes a little bit of time to get used to it, and I kind of wish it would stick up there a little bit longer so you have more time to read it, to get to know it. I actually just turned it off eventually because I never really hardly ever used it. Here's the other thing though. I kind of wish that the sensor itself, maybe instead of having this little tapping thing that would show you the progress that you're making, I kind of wish it was an actual physical button. And the only reason I say that is because when you're doing active sports like playing basketball, every time you dribble or do something with this whatever hand or wrist this is on, that thing's going to be lighting up all the time. It's going to go off all the time. I'm assuming it would probably drain battery if it's constantly lighting up all those LEDs. There is an option in the app where you can turn it off, so that way it won't be bothering you and won't continue to be going off. But it would have been kind of nice if maybe there's another option to where like you could just click on it or press something on the side, or maybe some other way to do it instead of just having like a vibration, because like whether you're washing your hands or doing all sorts of other things, playing basketball or sports and stuff, it just goes off like that randomly. Like I said, so if it's continually doing that over and over and over again, it's probably going to drain the battery kind of quickly. The other thing I would probably maybe think to improve is it does have this band right here for charging. I don't really like having these kind of proprietary little charging docks that come with it, because that means if I lose this little thing right here, I'm gonna have to buy another one or get another one, and I won't be able to charge up my device. It would have been kind of nice if they just had a USB port somewhere on the pod itself. Obviously, there's more technical issues when it comes to putting micro USB like ports and things like that on the actual device. But right now, this is currently the only way you can able to charge this with this right here. So. Besides that though, it's a really easy product to use. It does not take that much long to get used to having it on your wrist. Like I said, I've been wearing it for 3 months, and half the time I don't even remember it's on my wrist. I just totally forget about it, and it is on there. The one thing to consider though is that if you do want to sync it up with the app on the phone, you do have to open up the app. There's no background syncing or anything like that. And you know, I spoke with JayBird about this, and they mentioned that their biggest concern was battery consumption, because if it's going to be doing that constantly throughout the day, it's going to suck up a lot of battery. I do agree with that. However, I do kind of wish that there was an option to where maybe if I could set an alarm for it to sync every day at 5 o'clock, so that way it's not consistently syncing throughout the day. That would be kind of cool. Just because half the time I forget about syncing it with my phone, and the thing is, if you don't sync it, you basically lose that information, because currently on the app there is no history view on the app. It's just a daily. It just shows you what your score is for the day. So if you forget to sync it at night, you can't go back later on and check what it was, because if you don't remember to do it sometime during the day or at the end of the day, you're not gonna know what your score was, or what your activities, or how much calories you burned, or things like that. So that is one thing I kind of wish that they were, maybe in the future they could have it as an option. I'm not sure if that's strictly just a software update that they could push, or if it's an actual physical thing they have to do to the pod itself. But that's probably the only other issue I really have with using the pod. I kind of wish I had some background syncing. But so I've already mentioned a little bit about the app. So let's go ahead and switch over to the app, and I'm gonna show you some way more in-depth views, and talk about how this product works in conjunction with the app on the iPhone. Okay, so let's go do that now. Alright guys, so now let me give you a tour of the app itself. So open up. So the app I have here is a beautiful app that's actually really well designed. For those of you that don't know, I'm a graphic designer and a web designer. I've actually worked on apps before as far as designing like the user interface and the graphics and such. So that whoever they had to help them design this app did a really good job. It's a beautiful looking app. It's very useful and really cool ways that they display information. So as you guys can see here, I'm gonna give you guys a quick run through of just the different things. So we have three main sections. We have Go Zone right here. So we have the Go Zone, which I'll talk a little more in detail about in a second. We have the sleep tracking, and then we have the activity tracking. So activity tracking is the main one that you're probably going to use most of the time. And this is what shows you if you're reaching your goal for the day. So as you can see, I've reached my goal. It says, congratulations, you've achieved 100% of your goal today. If I tap on that, it shows you I have 127%. So my activity score was 1,000. I got 1274 today. I had a pretty good workout for 2 hours, so that's how I reached it. So you can tell here, as you can see, it shows you all the different activities that I did today. That's just basically general activity. That's walking, running, bicycling, and sports. So I played some basketball today, so that's what it determined. It could tell, using the sensors could tell that I was doing sports. So as you tap on those, it'll give you information about each of those things. It shows you calories burned and the amount of time that you spent doing those things. So walking, running right here, shows you got 90 points. I burned 135 calories. It says my distance was 0.6. I actually ran a mile, so I'm not sure why it only shows 0.6. Bike doesn't say, it just says duration. So it says I biked for 3 minutes. That's not accurate. I actually was on the bike for 10 minutes exactly at the gym, so I'm not sure. Sometimes certain things like that, they do act a little weird and it doesn't always pick it up. But that's one of the areas where I did notice that it didn't register the thing right there. But it says I burned 78 calories while on the bike. And then we have sports itself. And I was playing some basketball, and that is actually accurate. I played basketball for about 24 minutes, just shooting around and such. Burned 316 calories in the process while doing that. So 205. So the cool thing about this is that it actually knows all of these different sports activities, and the sensors know exactly what you're doing. Swimming is another one that should be in the list right here. Since the band is waterproof, you can go swimming. It can register as swimming. But I have noticed that, and they're actually working on some of the bugs with swimming, because it actually sometimes confuses certain movements with swimming. So like if you're on maybe an elliptical, it may think that you're actually swimming and not like using an elliptical machine. So if you want to, you can always go into the settings, and they actually added this just recently, so you can actually turn off swimming. Since I'm not going to be swimming anytime in the month of December, I'm just turning it off because I don't want it to confuse my movements with swimming, so it won't actually register that in there. So now let's go down here so you can see activity timeline. This is really cool. So basically, the activity timeline will give you a summary of the whole day. So it shows you I've burned 3,261 calories. I've taken 3,967 steps. I met my goal by 127%. It says I only went distance is 2 miles. I'm not sure, that's definitely not accurate, because I don't think it's calculating the bike, because on the bike I rode maybe 3.5 to 4 miles. I ran a mile, and then I've just been walking throughout the day. So that should be higher than 2 miles. I'm not sure why it only says that. It shows you your active time, which was 5 hours and 26 minutes, and my inactive time, which is me basically at work and just doing nothing throughout the day, 9 hours and 54 minutes. And then it gives you a schedule here. So it shows you from the time I woke up, it shows you all the different things I did. So mainly inactive, general activity, mainly inactive, and if you click on it, it gives you details about the things like that. So if I'm gonna scroll all the way down here to when I went to the gym, which was at 4. So here we go. General plus sport. So when you tap on that, bam, gives you lots more information about my workout right there. So I worked out for an hour and a half. It was more closer to 2 hours, but it only recognized it as an hour and a half. I guess doing weights and such like that, it didn't think I was still exercising. I burned 798 calories. I went 1.1 miles. Like I said again, I ran a mile, but I also did the bike for about 3.5 to 4 miles, so I'm not sure why it's not registering in there. It shows I took 1,970 steps, and it shows that it's also including running and walking. So I'm not sure why biking isn't also included in this list right here, but it's not, so that's just what shows it right there. So really cool details right there. One of the biggest things I think this app needs to add is definitely a history. It only right now shows you just for today's today's stats and such. It doesn't actually show you how did I do yesterday, how did I do a month from now. So this is something that JayBird is actually working on. They're going to be pushing this update to the app very soon. So I think that's one of the biggest missing features that's currently missing from the app right now is a history, because I want to be able to see how my progress has been, and I can't do that currently. So let's go back up here to the activity tracker. Now let's go over here to sleep. Now here's the thing with the sleep tracker. So you can wear the band while you're in sleep, while you are sleeping. It will keep track of the hours you're sleeping, and then it tells you tonight's recommended sleep, 6 hours and 5 minutes. I'm not sure why it's saying 6 hours and 5 minutes, because I would think it should tell me I need to get 8 hours of sleep, because that's, you know, normally what people tell you a good amount of sleep would be. When you actually first set up the app, it asks you how many hours you think you should be getting. I kind of want it to tell me you should be getting 8 hours or whatever it thinks I should be getting. But it actually asks you, so I actually said 8 hours, but it still only says 6 hours and 5 minutes, which is very odd. Next thing I noticed too is it says tonight's recommendation, you're getting great sleep lately and have been exceeding your ideal nightly sleep duration. Keep it up. That's actually not true. I've been going to bed every night like at 2 a.m. in the morning, so I have not been getting very good sleep at all. I'm not sure why it says that. And when you pop up here and you see the details on it, it shows you my sleep stats. And I went to bed almost, I went to bed closer to 3 o'clock, but it said at 3:30. So I went to bed at 3, it says 3:30 here. I woke up at 8, almost 7:54. But then it's showing me that the time slept was 3 hours and 46 minutes. I think that should be 4 hours and 24 minutes, right? So I'm not sure why it's showing me 3 hours and 46 minutes. Kind of odd, kind of weird, strange there. So the sleeping tracker thing definitely has some kinks to be worked out. I feel like it's not 100% accurate. But for me personally, I don't even need a sleep tracker, because I know how much hour. I know I'm not getting enough sleep. I never get enough sleep. I'm always going to bed about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, because I can't sleep very well. So I know how many hours of sleep I'm getting. I wake up every day 7:30, 8 o'clock. So for me personally, I don't really need the sleep tracker, and I just don't know if there's enough features in this sleep tracker that make it really, really useful for those that really want to keep track of their sleep. So just something to think about. Not like I said, I don't think for me it's not a big issue, but maybe for you it is a bigger deal. Then we have Go Zone. So Go Zone is something that you can do every morning when you wake up. Basically, it has a start button right here, and you have to do it in the morning. You cannot get up and get ready for work and change and brush your teeth and walk around. You have to do it right off the gate, right when you wake up, basically. You can go to the bathroom, but then you need to sit still, and you basically press the start button. It tells you to put your finger over the sensor on your wrist, which is basically just holding the heart rate monitor to your skin, and you have to hold it for 2 minutes, which is kind of a long time, especially if you're running behind and you need to get to work quickly. But it is what it is, and you do have to hold it for 2 minutes straight, and then it'll give you your Go Zone read. So I'm just going to read off the screen here what is Go Zone, because I'm probably just going to butcher trying to explain it to you guys. So Go Zone reads your body and lets you know how active it wants to be today. It does this via a short test upon waking. Just place your finger on the rain's top sensor for 2 minutes. It's a great motivator when you need a spark. So what does my Go Zone score mean? Your Go Zone score is a number between 0 and 100. Okay? A score less than 33 means your body is fatigued and you should take it easy today. A score above 33 means you are in the Go Zone. The Go Zone score will be accompanied by an activity goal, which is your personalized recommendation based on how active your body is ready to be. While a higher Go Zone score is accompanied by a higher activity goal, you may find that you often feel best during exercise when your score is between 40 and 60. So basically what it's telling you is that it's going to tell you, hey, today's a good day to work out, or hey, you worked out a lot this week, maybe you should take today off. Which is a cool feature, but I definitely think that's something meant maybe for those that are training, like athletes that are constantly working out like every day, Monday through Friday. Me personally, I'm a lazy dude, so I only work out Tuesdays and Thursdays for 2 hours. So I don't really need to check my Go Zone score very often, because I know by Thursday, I have my workout on Tuesday, I'm probably good to go to work out again. I don't need to really do my Go Zone score. There may be some other aspects or things too that are also beneficial as well. But I just think initially while using it, you know, I don't really need it to tell me when today's a good day to work out, because I just know that I haven't worked out crazy this week, so I feel fine. I can just go work out. But for those of you that do work out a lot and are maybe really hit it hard throughout the whole week, this probably would be definitely a really good thing for you. But keep in mind, if you don't do it first thing in the morning and you wake up and you go change your clothes and go get breakfast or whatever, it's gonna be too late and you won't be able to get the score. It'll be just like this right here. It'll show you today's activity goal is 1,000 points, which I've already met. So you have to do it first thing in the morning, or else you skip out and you have to do it, or try to remember to do it the next day, which can be kind of tough, especially if you're half awake and you'd be like, oh wait, I need to remember to take my go zone score. And 2 minutes, like I said, is kind of an extended period of time for most people, but it is what it is, and that's how that works. So there's definitely some really good things to the app. I think it's very well designed, very good, useful information. Not 100% accurate, but I wouldn't expect it to be. I guess, I mean, there's so many variables and things that can happen to make scores not exactly perfect. But the good thing about it is it's just software. So they are slowly rolling out different updates and things as well. Like I said, the history, we're going to be able to show your whole progress in history. That's an update that's coming very shortly. And that option for turning off the swimming, they just added that option like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And they actually, just today while I was using it, they actually pushed I believe it was a firmware update for the actual sensor, the Rain band itself. So they're constantly updating it, they're constantly making tweaks and things, so that's a good thing about it. There are some things that need to be improved, but they're already working on most of those things. And I have no doubt in my mind that, you know, within a year or a couple months from now, it'll have lots of other cool features that I can't even think about that'll be in here that'll make it a lot more useful and helpful. So this is the Rain app from JayBird. So guys, those are my overall thoughts on the JayBird Rain. Overall, it's been a really good experience while using it, and it's definitely been very helpful for me, especially when going and exercising, and try to be more frequent when it comes to being active. It really has shown me how lazy I truly am, especially since I work at a desk all day long at a computer. So it really shows me there's a lot of general activity that I should probably be getting up and doing a little more exercise and being more active and getting up and walking around more. So having it on my wrist has been a nice reminder to let me know, you know, sometimes maybe you just need to take the stairs instead of taking the elevator every single day, or maybe I need to get up from my desk every hour or so just to do a lap around the building, just to get a little more active and get up off my feet, you know. But it has been really helpful, especially when exercising and things like that, to give me a better idea on how my calories that I'm burning and the type of activities I'm doing, and actually how much I'm walking and things like that. So it has been pretty helpful. Like I mentioned when I was going over the app, there are some features I think that are more geared towards those that are regularly training and that are consistently working out. I don't think the Go Zone is something it's something I really use it often, because on average I work out maybe twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, for 2 hours, you know. So I don't really need the Go Zone to tell me today's an okay day for you to work out, because more often than not I need to go work out. It's not like I overdid it or anything. I think if you're training every single day, maybe multiple times every single day, you would definitely need something to let you know, hey, you need to take a break today. You've worked out enough yesterday, so you know your heart's telling you that you need to take a rest. So some of those features, I think, like I said, are for people that are a little bit more active. But overall, it's been a really pleasant experience while using the product. It's really easy to use, really easy to read the app and to know exactly what it is you're doing. Like I said, the biggest feature I think they need to add to the app is the history part of it, because I think in order to track your progress and see how well you're doing, you need to be able to see how your progress has been, and you can't do that if it's not tracking a history or showing you a history of that. So, but like I said before, the JayBird is going to be introducing that feature very soon into the app, and so most of the issues I have with this product is mostly with the software of the app. So, and those are things that can easily fix with updates. So, for as far as the pod itself and the actual product, I think it's a high quality product. I think it's very durable. It looks very nice with the nice premium bands, with the sport bands. It works well also. So no issues at all with the actual physical product itself, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what other things JayBird push out as far as updates and software goes for this product. So $200, it's a little bit more expensive than some of the other bands, fitness tracker bands that are out there on the market, but it does some really cool things that I think make it an interesting option. So maybe definitely something to consider for yourself if you're looking for a fitness tracker for tracking your activities and working out. Okay. So if you have any questions about this product, I'm gonna go and say this, guys. I can answer initial general questions, but when it comes to very thorough, specific, even medical types of questions for this, I would definitely recommend you guys going to JayBirdRain.com. They actually have experts there that can answer all your questions you need that you may have about this product in very great detail. So I'm more than, you know, I don't want to be telling you guys that I don't want to be there for you if you have any questions about it. So please, if you have any questions about this thing, go ahead and post it down below. But for anything that is very specific, very more technical, especially on the medical side, I would definitely recommend you go and check out JayBirdRain.com, because they do have people on standby. They're there to answer any kind of questions you may have about this when it comes to more technical things, okay? So that's pretty much it for me today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you want to stay up to date with all of my content, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, guys, make sure you stop by GeeksterLabs.com for the latest in tech news and video reviews. And I will see you in the next video review.